Hey, what's up, folks? Today we're in the shop. We're gonna do, I don't know. So first of all, guys, I'd like to apologize for that last video. With all the world shortages right now, we don't need to add Dramamine to the top of that list. So I've been kind of just piddling around the shop, trying to rectify some of those problems, especially with that camera shaking all over the place. You couldn't breathe without that thing just doing the whole shaky thing. So I spent the last few days, well, not a few days, but a few evenings, I suppose, just trying to upgrade the pole. I made a steel one. It's nothing fancy, but it's quite a bit more rigid than the aluminum one. Now, when I originally made this one, I threaded this for, I don't know what the hell I threaded it for. I think 24 TPI. And no matter what I did, I couldn't get it tight. So given that that base is most likely from China, it kind of clicked, and I was like, well, yay, it's probably frickin' metric. And sure enough, it was. So I made a bunch of doodads. See, on my lathe, you got to make a whole other set of doodads just to cut metric threads. So I needed another bolt, another sleeve, and that's 4140, and I hardened that. And this is aluminum bronze, and I had issues with this, and we might get on that in a minute. This is kind of a story, a whole thinking out loud episode, I guess you can call it. It's been a while since I did one. I've actually got a couple more in the works right here. That's another one that I started. I haven't gotten to putting the keys on them yet. But like that should fit good, but it just does not. Starts on one side, not bad, but I don't know. These gears do not feel flat, like straight. It's almost like they're crooked, which wouldn't surprise me. So that might be another project in and of itself. And it took me a while to figure this out too, how to get these keys to stay on here. This one actually took a few attempts, that's why it looks so shitty. But if you look real close, there's actually some soft solder in there holding those in. So I roughed this up on the grinding stone, not the grinder, just this. That'll fit right in there really good. Now I took a little excerpt from Stefan Gottswinter. He did something like this quite some time ago now. And what I did was I just took some plain old soft solder and snipped little chunks out of it. Nothing major, just little guys. Don't need much. Well, it might even be too much. It's okay. So just a couple little slivers like that. That's honestly probably enough right there. Got some just plain old plumber's acid paste here. I just pasted this up good. I'll stick those solder chunks in there. I don't know if we'll need all three. Yeah, we'll stick. Probably just need two. We'll try two. And paste this up too. I've only ever done this with copper pipe. And I did not think it was going to work, but damned if it didn't. And of course you need some fire. Yeah, figure that out. There we go. It's a nice soft flame. It's not going to take much. Just enough to melt that soft solder, which is quite frankly nothing. You can melt it with a Bic lighter. You want that acid to boil out of there too. See, it's already melted. Oh, there we go. And that's that right there. Yeah, we used quite a bit of solder there. Didn't need quite that much. Oop. We'll let that cool off a second. That was literally like 5 seconds of heat and it melted it so fast, so. It should stay on there good enough to actually mill that off, so. There's our little key. file those corners out and she'll be good to go. I'll do this other side here since we're already set up for it. That's another reason I'm letting it cool off, because I don't want it to heat up the other side, and then I'll end up, you know, that other one falling off. That'd be annoying. That's all she wrote. So I had to make that and make a washer and spacer, and actually I already have the nut. I bought a few of those because they kind of match my lathe. And I was like, oh, there's oversized nuts. And here's a picture of the whole gear setup for a 1mm pitch metric screw. Oh, here's my test run. Actually, I thought this was going to work, but then I realized that I made that too big. But the thread pitch is good. And also, not sponsored. I haven't actually. I'm going to try this out right now. This is all for your guys' viewing pleasure, because another thing in that last video, I was just fucking mumbling, man. I just could not seem to, get you guys to hear me. And then you try editing that stuff, and it's like 10 times worse. I think that goes like that. I never actually tried this in a practical application here. I still got a little shake with this stand. I am making a weird bolt here. So I'm making a little bolt here. And this is going to help me fixture that other unit on the rotary table. There's nothing fancy, there's just a little bit of a shoulder on the end there. Oh, and here's one that one of my viewers actually suggested. Put your hand on here when you're pulling back, you give a little pressure, and your tool don't drag across there. That's fantastic. Thanks, man. You're doing it all the time now. Okay, I think I had that thing hooked up wrong the whole time. There we go. Now it's definitely working. It's okay, so yeah, reading instructions sometimes not such a terrible idea. Anyways, what I need the bolt for, since I made these bigger and out of steel this time, and this is either some chrome or stainless. I'm not sure. Could be stainless, but it's got a nice ground finish on it. And when I mic'd it, it was exactly 1 thou under, which is a perfect fit for a 3/8 reamed hole. Well, got a little bit of dust in there and it's a little tight, but that is just a spectacular fit in there. That is what I was wanting. So that's going to work a lot nicer. Going to be a little bit heavier, harder to sneeze on and blow across the yard. Okay, yeah. So, sorry guys, I'm freaking all over the place here. I got this drilled and tapped for 3/8 16. I'm going to stick that on there, and that bolt's going to have its own registration on there. So hopefully it just self-centers then. And I'll probably just put a couple screws with a T-nut in there, or a little piece of flat, and hold it just to keep it so it can't unscrew on there. And I'm going to run the end mill on here. I did have it dialed in, as you can see on the lathe once already. But the further I get down in there, I'm going to start hitting these freaking ears. So I had to put the kibosh on that. It wasn't going to work out. So this is a new plan. All right, guys. So another mic test here. Okay, so I got this all centralized on here. The bolt is in through the back, holding that down, and I got this locked in here just in case it decides it wants to spin off of there. Now, I hardly really use this rotary table. Honestly, so I'm not too familiar with it really. But I don't know, what the hell. Give this a try. I'm gonna do about, I don't know, we'll keep it small cuts. We're plunging in there. About 25 thou maybe. Maybe that's too much. way should I go? Yeah, this way. Yeah, see, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. We got it pretty close to almost exactly half an inch there, just a little bit over. And in all honesty, I think I actually trued it up a little bit. It was a little bit off center there from the lathe. So I wanted to get this on camera just in case something terrible happens. Let's do another, well, I think that was only about 10 thou. Alright, there's a bigger one. Well, that's pretty cool. So I'm going to take this down about 1/4 inch, and I'm just going to drill and tap that for about, what, 1/4 20? Yeah, 1/4 20 sounds good. It's going to be a lot beefier than the prototype. Nice. Well, we'll deburr these sharp edges, and that's it for that part. Now my hopes and dreams here are that I can take this out and then put the other one in and just repeat what I just did there. Yeah, so that was fun. I got a little bit of rotary table experience in. Worked out really well. Everything is pretty much dead nuts on. And also a reamed 1/2 inch hole should work in that just absolutely perfectly. Yeah, so this little fixture has been proving to be pretty useful on several occasions so far. Oh, that's really tight. Bolt with locking nut works really good, apparently. There we go. So that was the piece I was using. There's the piece I was using to keep that from spinning off of there. Because technically it can spin off. Well, not very easily though, apparently. I knocked it on there pretty tight. I'm going to try to get that bolt off there. I don't think I'll be able to get it off with the screwdriver. I don't know. Nope. Gonna have to make some kind of a spanner wrench for that. Lock this table in so we don't wreck it. There we go. Yeah, I really didn't want that coming off there. Well, see how new this thing is? Didn't even get that plastic stuff off there yet. It seems like a very nice rotary table though. Like backlash is pretty much a non-issue. And there's that goofy bolt I made. You know, I think a little spanner wrench that kind of works with a flathead would actually be pretty ideal for this particular case. So yeah, this whole crazy endeavor kind of stemmed from that last video. It started off the shaking, really needed to fix that, so I started to see if I couldn't fix up this camera stand, and then I found out the problem. I had to fix the metric threads, and then to fix and then to continue fixing the camera stand, I had to make yet another fixture to hold on my old fixture, make some new parts for the camera stand, and oh jeez, and then I had to make the stuff for the threading. So yeah, it's been kind of one of those, I don't know what you'd call it, a freaking adventure, I guess. The camera's a lot more steady already. Seems like the mill just vibrates on the floor and seems to want to pick up, whoop, scratch that. Wants to pick up vibration anyway. I'm super duper happy with these. Let's get a little flare on the end. These are just, oh, that is just a gorgeous fit. I did get another pretty awesome tool, but I think that's going to make its big reveal in a future video. It sure did a nice job, is all I can say. Anyways, folks, thanks very much for subscribing to this channel, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.